But yeah, for those people not from the Houston area, this is pretty typical, right? I mean, we go through some long periods of droughts and then we get rain, and it's a ton of rain. We're not like your tropical Hawaii climate or even tropical Mexico where you get your 10, 15 minutes of rain a day and it's nice and pretty. Yeah, we get like nothing, and then it's boom. It's just a lot of rain really quick.
It just opens up, right?
For days.
Cy-Fair Real Talk, let's get down to it. Jim and Rodney, they're gonna walk you through it. From the market trends to the best spots in town. Cy-Fair Real Talk, we got it all going down.
Hello and welcome to Cy-Fair Real Talk. We are your hosts. My name is Jim Mulholland.
And I'm Rodney Jordan.
And thank you for joining us on episode 6.
Episode 6
of Cy-Fair Real Talk. Man, it's been a fun journey. Thank you, Rodney, for being part of this journey with us. I think it's going well.
It's fun.
Yeah,
it's fun.
Lots of stuff going on. We actually missed a week, so we're a few days late on this episode. We apologize, but a lot's been going on. Rodney, start us off.
Yeah. We definitely want to open up the show and say Happy Military Appreciation Month.
Yes.
Jim, that's May all this month. It's one of the longest holidays and observance we have here, also known as Military Appreciation Month. Not to be confused with Veterans Day. This is for those men and women that are on active duty currently serving. So happy Military Appreciation Month from Cy-Fair Real Talk.
That's right. And thank you for all your active military for your service. We appreciate you greatly.
Yes, we
And thank you, Rodney. You're not active anymore, but you were in the Army. So thank you for your service.
Thank you. And we have several of our agents here. So you got a diverse crew. So
we do.
We have a lot of veteran agents here and everything like that. So definitely go to our website and find them if you're looking for a good agent.
Yeah. There you go.
All right. Well, Jim, you ready to get into the show?
I'm ready.
All right. Well, we got some feedback from episode 5.
Okay, great.
All right.
I'm
gonna give this one, and this came from one of our agents, Natalie, who had a person who was
Natalie Jones.
Yeah,
Thank you, Natalie, for watching and paying attention to the podcast.
Yeah, and giving us this feedback. Here's a direct quote. Person says, "I am a broker.
Oh.
I registered for the data and the research, and also the podcast."
Boom. There you go. Yes, people are paying attention.
Yes.
So that's great.
Yeah, he said, good podcast. So thank you for the feedback, everyone else. Feel free to leave us something in the comments and everything like that. Also, we have a show note, an editorial note. There was a middle school, Libe. But the correct word, did we say it right? What was it?
I said labay.
And it's actually, there we go.
Lie-by. It's actually lie-by, and I apologize for all you lie-by students and parents of lie-by students. So.
There you go. And that came from our younger audiences, right?
Yes,
I think
multiple of our children let us know that we completely screwed that name up. So I'm hoping that we're correct now.
Yes.
Otherwise, we're just going to embarrass ourselves more.
Yeah.
But yeah, we believe it's lie-by.
Yeah, it's always good when we're cracking into the teen market too.
That's
when,
right.
When they're paying attention.
It's a good demographic to crack into. Yeah, love the teen demographic.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for that. Again, everyone, for the feedback and just being here with us. Jim and I, we appreciate it. Well, you know what? It's about time to get into some
real news.
Ooh, one more time, Jim.
News.
Oh, I love it when you say it. That's right.
There we go. Real news, baby.
Let's jump into the real news.
There's a lot going on in the area over the past 10 days since we last met.
Where do we start, right?
Well, I think you got to kind of start with the weather, right? And I missed this. So I've been gone. I was gone all last week. I was on a nice little trip with Howard Hughes and Bridgeland to Key West, and I'll touch on that in a minute. But coming back on Thursday, and all I heard, actually, our office manager, Amy Denton, showed a video of the downpour outside. So they said it was crazy.
Yeah, it's a little wet here. I was looking at the forecast right before we got going, so it looks like we're drying out, and definitely for some of the families. I know up north, Texas, Dallas really got some stuff. For us, it was Huntsville, Willis area, North Houston area, but definitely a lot of families affected by that, and we give our thoughts and prayers for them, and as they dry dry
lots of
out.
flood. I know the San Jacinto River, they're opening dams, and people down the river are kind of getting impacted now.
Yeah.
Even though the rain stopped, there's still people getting impacted from all the rain. But it was, I mean, they've got 10 plus inches of rain in a lot of these areas. I think we got 3 to 5 inches, I want to say, in Cypress
Yeah,
for
we did.
most of the areas. But yeah, we got a lot, but no flooding here. Thank God. We're all pretty, came out nice, just good for the grass and the trees. Don't have to deal with the flooding, but yeah, for those people not from the Houston area, this is pretty typical, right? I mean,
Yes.
we go through some long periods of droughts, and then we get rain, and it's a ton of rain. We're not like your tropical Hawaii climate or even tropical Mexico, where you get your 10, 15 minutes of rain a day, and it's nice and pretty.
Yeah.
We get like nothing, and then it's boom. It's just a lot of rain, really
It
quick.
just opens up, right?
For days. So we had a couple days of a lot of rain, and it did definitely impacted some people, but looks like the forecast is a little drier, so people are getting a chance to dry out and clean up if they were impacted by that. But so that was craziness.
Yeah.
That-
Definitely. Well, we were worried about your flight coming in, but you guys
Yeah.
made it back okay. So
We
that's,
did.
That's
Yeah,
good.
we
That's
did.
good. Well,
So-
that definitely for all the families. All right, let's get into also we had Nature Fest that
Nature
happened.
Fest, yeah, made it by actually. I went
Yeah?
by. I saw Coyote Peterson do his deal a
Yeah?
little bit. Showed off a few animals. He
Okay.
had like an anteater and a dragon-looking some kind of reptile of some sort. He did a few. I only stayed for a little bit, but it was a
Yeah.
good crowd.
Yeah,
Crowd. Like I said, it's Bridgeland's biggest event they put on every year that's open to the public, and there's a lot of people there, and they do it right.
Yeah.
Bridgeland does a really good job. Howard Hughes Corporation, they do a good job with their Nature Fest, and it seems like everyone had a lot of fun that went and attended.
Yeah, and goes to a great cause, Cy Hope. And for those that missed that episode, that was in April 27th, and that was the 16th annual Nature Fest. So
Yeah,
been doing
16th
it
and
quite some
long
time.
time. So yeah,
Yeah.
no, that was good.
Fun stuff.
Yeah, that was fun. Anything else going on in the news?
Well, we have a couple things. The unveiling of the new Houston Texans jersey. I don't know if we have any
yeah.
Houston Texans fans, but they did it in a very Texas way. They unveiled it right there at the Sam Houston statue up near Huntsville, or in
Awesome.
Huntsville. So
Yeah.
I thought that was cool. If you guys haven't seen that or haven't or aware of that, it's a pretty cool thing. I personally drove up just to see it myself.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
That's great.
yeah, I went up there and it was
Nice,
neat.
yeah.
We saw a lot of the fans and people, and the statue is something that you can't miss it. You go down 45, you come in, and it's like, what
the
is
statue.
that?
Yeah, for those people that don't know the area or haven't gone to Huntsville from Houston,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you can't miss it. It's like the freeway is ending
Yeah.
right in the middle of Sam Houston, and I don't know how tall he is. He has to be
Yeah.
50, 60 feet. I have no
I-
idea, but he's
yeah.
a big dude.
I'll tell you this: he is considered, according to their website, the world's tallest statue of an American hero.
Really?
Yes,
Look at that.
according to
I
their
had no
website,
idea.
that's what they have.
Is
That
it-
so
awesome.
pretty tall guy, and it's pretty neat. It's a kind of a distraction. If you're driving,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
look and you're like, "What is that?" As you go by,
And,
it is so cool.
Man, I can imagine creating a jersey for that guy. I mean,
Yeah.
that's one big jersey,
Yeah.
but that's awesome. Yeah, I like the excitement about the Houston Cougar football team. They've always kind of been an afterthought around here in Houston,
Yes.
so a little more excitement going on right now for those Cougars. So yeah, go Cougars. My wife, she's a Cougar. She graduated from University of Houston.
Okay.
So, but yeah, so that's got a little bit of a family rivalry, I would say. I'm an Aggie, she's a Cougar, but to be honest, she doesn't really pay attention to sports. So she every once in a while she may say something about
Yeah.
the team, but
Well,
yeah,
well,
very
she
good.
was kicking our butts almost for a little while in our March Madness bracket.
yeah,
so
she pays a little attention.
Yeah. She's got a good source there. But anyway, a lot of those things, good stuff in the news and everything
Yeah.
like that. But we're ready. Jim, are you ready to get this thing going? We got a
what's
lot of stuff to go
what's
over.
next on the agenda? Let's keep it going.
Well, let me ask the famous question for our new segment. Jim,
Yeah.
how's the market?
Yeah, how's the market?
How's the
Yeah, the
market?
market, it's good timing. So we have updated data, right? We got the most recent April sales data for how sales went in the Cypress, Tomball, Northwest Houston area, and it's pretty interesting data. So Let me zoom in here. Here's if you're for those that are watching the YouTube. I am looking at our sales chart on our website, Cy-Fair Again, you can go to the search tab and community charts, but you can if I filter on just this year, you can see the home median sales price for homes went from $348 up to $365. The dollar per square foot went from $162 up to $165.
Okay.
And the days on market went from 43 down to 27. And the sales went from 764 up to 860.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a big move.
Yeah, we're moving
so
along.
there's, as we discussed previous episodes, you always expect this time of year to get more sales,
You did
right?
say
I
that.
mean, so the sales are always going to typically increase. The days on market are going to decrease, which is what happened. But it definitely shows that the buyers are still there. There's people still are out there buying real estate. So even with the interest rates the way they are, but no, home sales are still going strong right now.
Look at that.
But yeah, no, this is kind of what we've been talking about, is that days on market going from peaking in January, February, and coming down, and we should hit a trough in terms of a low. That should be over. I mean, May, June is typically when the days on market look at the quickest. So if you're looking to buy a house right now, and you see something you like, you got to move pretty quick, because those days on market are going to keep falling here for the next probably 45, 60 days.
Yeah. So for the sellers, great time to put your home on the market.
This is the time, yeah. You got basically you have a window here the next couple weeks to get that home on the market. The buyers are out there, so. But no, all in all, it looks good. If we want to filter again on our handy dandy site, you can actually filter on new homes only. So if I do that filter, similar chart.
Oh, look at that.
Overall sales price went from $372 for new homes up to $388. Dollar per square foot from $176 up to $176.5, and the days on market from 71 down to 54. So, so we're inching up to all-time highs again right now.
Wow.
So, but no, it's things are going well. You can filter on city, Cypress. Looking at just the city of Cypress.
Okay.
Per square foot stayed pretty much the same. The sales price went up a bit. Again, these is just new homes again, and days on market stayed fairly flat. But if I include resales, let's just look at that. Again, it's definitely not going down. It's either going up or trending even. So, and then we're definitely been in an uptrend since 2020, right? That we've looked
is
at
that
before.
an increase on that medium price, the medium home price that we saw? I remember you and I were seeing about 418 one time. We had looked at this, and we were doing a deep dive on some stuff. Yeah, seeing 420
we've been around
now.
the 415 to 420. It's kind of been where we've been landing here for a while. But again, if I go back to January 2020 on our sales chart through today, get a little better look at, and this is just Cypress. I filtered just the Cypress just so everyone knows what we're looking at. But it's been definitely in an uptrend, definitely peaked in May 2020, and we've been fairly level since, but ticking up right now.
Yeah.
So, but no, things are going good. People ask me all the time, how's the market? How are things looking? And I mean, it's still looking strong. Down here again, this is kind of like the volume of sales, right? You can see as long as that's going up, which it is, people are still wanting to buy houses in Cypress, Texas.
They're clearly wanting to buy homes in Cypress, Texas. So we're getting a lot of those. Okay.
Yeah. So, and then obviously we can't talk about the home sales market without discussing interest rates, because that's what everyone talks about.
We have to
all the time. So again, here's the 30-year mortgage rate, and as we've been watching, it's been in an uptrend, and we've been talking about. And I'll show the 10-year Treasury here in a second, but we have the ebbs and flows, and we're kind of in an ebb again right now. So that's kind of been good for people wanting to lock in right now. It actually rates have dropped about 0.25% over the past week since last time we talked. So this is the national average. We went from 7.5 down to about 7.25.
Wow.
So that's kind of a good sign.
And this week also, too, we had the Fed came out with the first of the month. I was looking at their press release, and the big news, the summary of that is they decided to maintain the target federal fund rate. They're going to keep it at 5.25% to 5.5%. So
That's
no
what
price
we've
cuts
been
from
saying.
them, Jim. That's what
I
we've
know,
been
that's what
saying,
I've been
right?
saying, right? They're
Yeah.
not cutting, so that's why a little surprising rates have gone down because of that. But I think it's kind of expected now, right? I mean, once some of those CPI inflation data came up, it was kind of expected. They're definitely not going to do the 3 cuts like they originally were hoping to do. Still a chance they may do 2. But other, I'm kind of hearing now 0 to 1, so it'll be something to look at. If we go back to the trading view chart that I like to look again, this is the 10-year Treasury for those that are watching at on YouTube or watching the video. We've been in this upper trend, upper channel here, and it's definitely been on a downtrend. So been on a downtrend for the past week or so, like we mentioned. So the key is going to be when we hit this uptrend line, right? So what's it going to do here? So my guess is probably going to go up because it's gone up 1, 2, 3 other times. But if it doesn't, that's a good sign. That means we got some downward pressure to make this thing go down. So here, their 10-year Treasury, this about 4.33% is kind of a big mark right there. Because it's reacting to that. If it actually busts through that, that's a really good sign, and maybe we are seeing some downward movement coming in. Again, if the Fed doesn't move the rate at all, I mean, I kind of anticipate it's going to start leveling out.
Okay.
So if that happens, then you'll just see this break through the uptrend, but not break through this downtrend here, and it'll just kind of start going flat. So that is an option.
Okay.
But could just keep going up, but I don't think, unless we actually get to some cuts, I don't see it actually breaking much past this line. So we'll see. Kind of again a holding pattern, but it is, if you did wait for a week, you gained yourself about 0.25% on that if you're buying a house on the mortgage. So that's good. Every little bit helps when you're buying a house.
It does. Okay, great. So we're still in that. How long have we been in that uptrend, Jim? I was looking I was trying to see back.
Yeah, we started this uptrend. I mean, so things really crashed here when they announced inflation was looking good back in the end of October.
Okay.
That's when the stock market just skyrocketed. Interest rates plummeted. Everyone thought that, oh my God, we did it. We got the soft landing. This thing is, the rates are going down. We can start alone. Yeah, we're good. The economy's looking good. So yeah, market skyrocketed. Rates crashed. And hit a low in the end of December, basically. So we've been in this uptrend since the beginning of the year. So pretty much the entire 2024 we've been in an uptrend.
Wow.
So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
And we're still selling. Homes are still going. Days on the market's down. It's just get a good real estate agent and get on the market if that's what you want to do, and go. And if you want to buy one, get a good real estate agent, and purchase a home.
Yeah,
purchase
absolutely.
a home. Yeah.
But no, it's a good, again, we've been saying it's a good solid market both for sellers and buyers right now. So so if you're looking to buy, you're looking to sell, either way, I think it's a good time to do either.
Yeah, I like it when it's kind of less volatility. It's just kind of, let's get a little less news, a little less headlines, and normal, comfortable. That kind of deal. So awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we'll keep our eyes on it definitely, and kind of see what we have going on. Out there. So today, for those that are listening, is May 6th, and we'll watch it from here.
Yeah,
we'll continue to watch it
every day, every week.
All right,
there we are.
We time-stamped you guys.
Yeah.
All right. Well, here's our fun segment that we have here. We've done let's see what all we've done. We've done the top 10 master plan communities.
Yeah.
We've done the top high schools in Cy-Fair ISD. We did the top 10 middle schools.
Yeah.
Well, we're here. Drum roll, please. Let's go to the top 10 elementary schools in Cy-Fair ISD.
Boom, elementary. Yeah, we can't forget the young folks.
That's
and
right.
The youngest of our students, the next generation, right?
Yes.
That's it. So yeah, again, CypherRealEstate.com. Go to schools, click on the schools tab, or you click on the schools and then Cy-Fair ISD. You will get our school rankings. This is from the Children at Risk rankings from 2023. We went in and we filtered by Cy-Fair ISD, and then we filtered by level of elementary school. And we made sure that we're only looking in 2023 data because we do have 22 and 23 data.
Okay.
So, and we got a top 10 list. So let's get to it.
Here we go.
Here we go. The top 10 Cy-Fair ISD elementary schools.
Yeah, I'm
based
excited.
on
I'm excited
children at
for this
risk.
one.
So
I'm excited.
Again, these are definitely local. So elementary schools are interesting because they're so local, right? It's usually
Yes.
a community based, and so a lot of people do put a lot of importance to having a good elementary school when they're looking for a house to move to in the Cypress Cy-Fair area. So let's get to it. So number 10. Alt Elementary.
All right, the All Stars.
I did not know
The
that.
All-Stars,
And I could be
the
honest.
red, white,
I
and
don't.
blue.
I don't know most mascots for elementary schools in
gotcha,
Cy-Fair. But
I
man, you
gotcha.
did your research. I like that, Rodney. Nicely done.
All right.
So, but yeah, Alt is in the master plan community of Fairfield.
And we talked about
Yeah,
Fairfield.
they have 3 elementary schools. Alt is one of them. Everyone that goes to Alt also goes to Salyers Middle School, so that's nice. So if you get your group of friends at Alt, you'll at least move to the same middle school. However, there is a little divergence there when you get to high school. Some of the kids right now are going to go to Bridgeland High School, and then some are going to go to Cy Woods. Most go to Bridgeland from Salyers, but there is a small little pocket that goes to Cy Woods.
Okay.
So, but yeah, but all great schools, and number 10 on our list based on the data. So number 9, Postma Elementary School.
The Pumas.
The Postma Pumas. I like it.
Postma
I like the
Pumas.
alliteration. That's good. Always good to have alliteration when you're having a mascot. That's perfect. So yeah, Postma is one of the schools that Town Lake is zoned to. So it's Postma kids go to 2 different middle schools. They go to Anthony Middle School, or they go to Smith Middle School.
Okay.
And then high school, they will go to either Cy Springs or Cy Ranch. So there's a little diversity there.
Two divides.
I don't know how common this is in other districts, but it is a little interesting. We've kind of touched on this in the past. That Cy-Fair ISD does split kids up like that. Because when I grew up in West Texas, I grew up in Odessa.
Okay.
And everyone that went to one elementary school, that elementary school all went to one middle school, and everyone in that middle school went to one high school.
That's exactly how I had it.
And it just made sense to where you always, if you have your group of friends that you knew from kindergarten, you would definitely be with that group of friends all the way up.
Yeah.
Cy-Fair is not that way. So you got kids separating at middle school, then coming back at high school, or just going all different ways.
Deal.
So it's interesting, and then it changes about every 2 years, and mostly because of the growth.
Yeah, and I'm from one of those small towns as well, Jim, and kind of had the same thing. I went to Daphne Elementary School.
Okay.
And guess what the name of my middle school was? Daphne Middle School.
Nice.
And
Yeah,
what the
there
name of the high school? Daphne High School.
Wow, there
so
you
it was
go.
just a straight shot
And
all
what were
the way up.
what were the mascot names?
We were the Trojans.
all the way through.
We were the Trojans.
All right, elementary, middle school, and high school.
Oh, yeah. Did we change? That's a good question. Oh, I know the high school one. I got to look that up. Someone in the
nice.
comments, if you're watching from Alabama, let me know.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But the Trojans.
Nice. I was a Dowling Tiger.
Okay.
And then I was a Bonham Owl.
Oh, so they did change. it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, because that was my middle school, then my high school was Odessa Permian Panthers. And then,
Came up with that.
and then I moved to Humble and ended up graduating from Humble, when we were the Humble Wildcats.
Wildcats.
There you go.
Okay.
So I was a tiger, an owl, a panther, and a wildcat. So I was a cat all the way through, other than the owl.
Yeah,
The owl's a little bit of it's an outlier. All right, onward and upward. Number
let's
8,
go.
Farney Elementary School.
The Falcons.
Falcons. I like that. The Farney Falcons.
Yeah.
So all the kids at Farney. This is actually a good one, right? Because all the kids go to Goodson, and then from Goodson they all go to Cy Woods.
Okay.
So sounds good. So there you go, Farney. So next, 7, Keith Elementary School.
The Cougars.
The Cougars, the Keith Cougars. Again, that alliteration, love it.
Yes.
But no, Keith is another one of the 3 elementary schools in Fairfield. So very similar to what Alt did, in that, well, in this case, Keith is actually split the middle school. Everyone went to Salyers. Keith, you're splitting up a little bit, going from Salyers and Goodson.
Yeah.
And then, again, the same high schools as all, Bridgeland and Cy Woods.
Wow.
So, yeah, so like, moving in a few different directions there at Keith. Number 6, Rennell Elementary School.
The Redhawks.
Redhawks. Again, the alliteration. The Rennell Redhawks, right in the middle of Town Lake. Actually, it's not in the middle of Town Lake. It's on the border of Town Lake. It's kind of funny. There's actually homes in Cypress Creek Lakes that back up to Rennell, but don't go to Rennell.
Oh, they just get to hear the kids playing.
Right. They actually go to Warner because
Someone
Warner's
else's
in
kid.
Cypress Creek Lakes, but
Oh,
there's some
wow.
listeners that back up to Rennell, but don't go to Rennell. But yeah, Rennell in Town Lake goes to, again, 2 schools, Anthony or Smith, and then all those kids would go to South Ranch High School.
Okay.
Number 5, Hamilton Elementary School.
The Lions.
The Hamilton Lions. What happened with the
Hamilton Lions.
alliteration?
I
Man,
know,
they
I
should
know.
be the
Hamilton is the only one that did that. I got a
the
little note
Lions.
here. Yeah, the Lions.
Not too many animals or neat things with an H, I guess.
Yeah,
Hamilton,
yeah.
horses.
And the Hawks were taken by
Hawks.
Rennell.
Oh, yeah, the Hawks would have been good. Yeah,
Yeah.
so there you go. So the Hamilton, what'd you say, Lions?
The Lions.
Lions, okay. Well, that's a nice, that's a good looking
Yeah.
mascot. So
We'll take
there we
it.
go. Yeah.
We'll take
So Hamilton, kind of one of the originals, been around a while. Longwood Village. A lot of those kids go to Hamilton.
Okay.
The elementary school and middle school. We discussed this on the middle school last week, but they kind of share the same campus, and the middle school is the same name. So everyone that goes to Hamilton Elementary will go to Hamilton Middle.
Oh, that's right. They're on the same campus. There.
Same
Okay.
campus.
Got
So,
it.
and then the high schools are Cy Creek or Cy-Fair. So
Okay.
again, got a little bit split. Once you kind of get to middle school, the middle school splits. But there you go.
Nice.
All right, number 4, we got Burks Elementary School.
Mm-hmm. The Bulldogs.
Boom.
And
Back
I
to
just
alliteration.
drove by them. I was out
Okay.
that area.
Were you? Okay.
Yeah.
So, hey, now look at this one. So,
Yeah.
Burks. That's crazy. So you go to Aragon, you go to Libi, or you go to Spillane. So you got 3 different ways you can go there at Burks. And then the high school, you're going to either Cy Falls or Langham Creek.
Yeah. A lot of slicing and dicing. there.
Yeah. So don't get too attached to your friends' kids.
Yeah.
You guys are-
or no, you're gonna maybe if
Yeah,
you don't
meet
like
some
those
new
current
people.
kids, you're gonna
Right.
get some other kids.
Yeah,
there.
meet some new people at Burks. So there you go, Bulldogs. Good job.
All right.
Number 3, top 3 elementary schools down. Number 3, Warner Elementary School.
And they are the Wolves.
Warner
The
Wolves. Yes. So, again, Warner is in the master plan community of Cypress Creek Lakes, right across from Bridgeland. They're at Fry and Cypress North Houston, and it is in a whole complex of schools, which is
Yeah.
Warner, Smith, and Cy Ranch. So this is kind of the nice thing about Warner is everyone goes to Smith, and then everyone from Smith goes to Cy Ranch. So it's
Yeah.
kind of nice and simple there for all your friends at Warner. You should be with your friends
And stay with
all the
them.
way through. So.
Oh, that's good.
Number 2 is Sampson Elementary School.
Mm-hmm. The Stallions.
Sampson Stallions. Yeah, my kids were Stallions there for a while. Good school, good
Yeah.
elementary school, right in the middle of Coles Crossing. We lived there for 15 years. Our kids, my oldest kid went there through 3rd grade. My youngest twins were there as kindergartners. But yeah, nothing good to say, but good to say about Sampson. And again, this is also nice. All the kids there go to Spillane Middle School,
Yeah.
and then they all go to Cy Woods High School.
And they have kind of like that complex, almost in that area, right? Where they're kind of right across 290.
Yeah, they're right. So Spillane and Cy Woods are in the same complex.
Okay.
Sampson's actually right in the middle of Coles Crossing.
Got it.
It's actually a great little neighborhood school because it's right in the middle of the neighborhood. And all the
Nice.
kids, you go drive by during school, and there's like 1,000 bikes there because everyone's
Yeah.
riding their bikes to school and stuff,
You,
which is nice.
you know, Jim, I like that. You know, when you think about the schools being within a community,
yeah,
that is so
makes a big difference,
right?
Yeah,
Instead of
makes
being
a-
on the side, that is so.
Yeah, and
that
they're
is so
riding a
thought-
bike to school, right? It's kind
Yeah.
of so old school, you
Yeah.
know. It's kind of retro, nostalgic seeing kids riding their bikes to school. 'Cause that's kind of what
Yeah, the
kids
backpacks
did.
and
Yeah,
everything.
we did when we were kids. So, anyway, so yeah, Sampson Elementary, great school, and number 1 elementary school in Cy-Fair ISD is Pope Elementary.
And they are the
Panthers. Pope
Panthers.
Panthers. So yeah, so my kids did go there. My oldest son went to Pope as a 3rd grader, second part of the 3rd grade and through 5th. And my twins went there from the second part of kindergarten through 2nd grade. Mm-hmm. And then, Wells Elementary opened up in Bridgeland. They moved to Wells, but yeah. But anyway, Pope again, middle schools. Yeah, great school. So this is kind of interesting. It is right in the middle of Bridgeland, but the middle schools is 2 different middle schools. One is Smith, and the other is Sprague,
okay.
which is the new middle school in Bridgeland. It's called Sprague. So everyone that lives in Bridgeland will go to Sprague, but actually some people, some of the kids from Black Horse Ranch actually also go to Pope.
That I didn't know.
And they go, so Black Horse Ranch will go to Pope, and then they go to Smith. So
Okay.
there's a little separation there, depending on if you live in Bridgeland or Black Horse Ranch. Same thing with the high schools is the kids that Pope that live in Bridgeland will go to Bridgeland High School. The kids that live in Black Horse Ranch will go to Cy Ranch.
Okay.
So that's the separation there. So you
That's
do have a
good
little
about-
separation from Pope.
Okay.
But yeah, they're the top 10 schools, all very good schools, and lots of others. That's the thing. I don't know how many schools there are. Well, let's see.
Yeah,
There's so many elementary
there's
schools. That's
so
a tough
many.
list to do. But
Yeah.
so
Yeah, you
it's
can just look at that
54
chart there.
pages. Yeah. So so it's 54 elementary schools that are ranked in our database here. So
Okay.
top 10 is kind of it's pretty
Well, some
exclusive.
stiff
Pretty
competition.
exclusive. Yeah. So a lot of schools out there in Cy-Fair ISD, and we're still growing.
Yeah.
Still more to come. Still more to
they
come.
keep popping up.
So huge district. But so good list.
Yes, and anybody ever want to go, if you're out, go to Cy-Fairrealestate.com. You can click on the schools. If you're looking for those homes, you want to find one zoned to a school, we have that information for them there and some of that stuff. Definitely go there, Cy-Fairrealestate.com.
Absolutely.
Okay.
All right. Well, let's
Awesome.
get
All
to
right.
the next stage. So
All right.
what's next on the show here, Rodney?
Well, it is time for the segment. I've been getting some feedback sharing this is our community spotlight.
Community
and this
spotlight.
is where Jim and Rodney, we're going to go in and take a deep dive into a community here. I want to, and this community was on our top 10 master plan community list.
Yeah.
So
All
who
right.
do we have for our community spotlight?
It's Copperfield.
Copperfield.
Again, one of the original master plan communities in all of the Houston
OG.
area. Right. No, we said Fairfield. Copperfield is right there with Fairfield in terms of being developed and started. And again, I don't have the exact date. Do you happen to know when it started? I'm guessing in the mid 1980s.
I have heard conflicting data on this.
Okay.
It is a Friendswood development. On the chart, I heard 1988.
Okay.
But talking to some of the locals, Rodney went
Yeah.
and did some on-the-ground reporting. They were talking about that development actually started a few years even prior to that with the development itself and getting ready. So it's kind of up in the air, but you'll see on some places 1988. I believe
Yeah.
even on our list we have 1988 on it. I'm
Okay.
sorry, 19. What did I say? 88. 88. There we go.
Yeah.
For that community. So just
Okay.
depends on who you ask almost there, because their website gives you some different data.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry for the cough.
Hey. Just say the name. Copperfield.
Right.
All right.
But okay, so Copperfield again, master plan community. Mm-hmm. It's kind of built. Let's look at the Google Earth map here. So here again is the Houston area. All right. So here's Copperfield. And kind of kept some of the other master plan communities we've talked about. Fairfield, Bridgeland, Town Lake, being one of the originals, is built right here. But basically, Highway 6 is the main thoroughfare going through Copperfield. And it's 20 miles away from downtown Houston or so.
Yes.
Houses there were built from the 80s to the 90s, basically, maybe early 2000s.
Yeah.
Copper Lakes was a little later than that, and a couple other little communities, but it's built into a whole bunch of different villages.
Yeah, 7 villages.
Is it 7? What, do you have the village names
yes,
there?
Yes, I do.
Awesome.
The 7 villages of Copperfield. And the people that live in Copperfield, they are very, very particular about their village. First village we have is Copperfield Place, and that's
Okay.
the newest section of
Okay.
Copperfield. Easton Commons, and they're known for the parks. You have a lot of parks in Easton Commons.
Okay.
This is stuff I'm getting you from the residents, people.
Okay.
Meadowgate Village, the pools.
Okay.
They like to say they have the best pool.
Nice.
So I did
Okay.
go out there. I got to see some of the lifeguard, and they are hiring. So some of you kids that
Oh,
want
yeah.
summer jobs,
Always
they're
looking for lifeguards. Oh, yeah.
lifeguards. North Mead Village
Okay.
is another village there. Then you got South Creek Village.
Okay.
South Creek is one of the largest sections. They have about 1,573 homes just in
Wow.
South Creek.
South Creek, okay.
Yes, and there's going to be considered very, very well established, and that's where you're going to find your 5 miles of walking trail. Very
Nice.
outdoorsy,
Okay.
very that kind of thing there in that area. Then we're going to go over to South Downs, and that's what you're going to see right from the Beltway on Beltway 6, and home of Lowry Elementary. Didn't make our list, but they have the elementary school that is right there in that
Okay,
area.
nice.
So
That's
you're
good.
going to catch that. Lastly, we're going to end it with West Creek Village, and that's also where you're going to find Copeland Elementary. And I
Okay.
was doing a little research. We got 2 Copeland Elementaries. We're talking about the one in the northwest side because there is one way over by Atascocita area, which is the
Okay.
same school named
Got
Copeland.
it.
But anyway, so you have some schools there in West Creek Village. In
Okay.
Copperfield. Yep.
Awesome. Yeah. No, I think people that live in Copperfield like being in Copperfield and kind of proud of being in Copperfield. Like I say, it's been around forever. Most of the people there go to Langham Creek, I believe. I think some maybe go to Cy Falls High School.
Yep.
But yeah, so very established neighborhood, a lot of nice mature trees, lots of shopping, lots of restaurants.
Yes.
Obviously a lot of sales. So a lot of houses to be had. So here are the Copperfield sales charts. Let me do just for the past year.
Yeah. And while you're pulling that up, I was doing a little bit more diving into Copperfield. Some of the builders, when that place first opened up, you have Emerald, Pulte, Cahovina was building in there, Perry Homes, David Weekly. So give
Okay.
you an idea
That's
of
good
kind of
builders.
the mix. And yeah,
Yes,
that's a good mix of
national
builders, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So dollars per square foot in Copperfield, you're looking at about 147 a square foot, 315 median price. So again, kind of like Fairfield, it's a little more affordable than some of
Yes.
these newer master plan communities. But yeah, so it's definitely a place to check out in terms of actual pricing. It's been pretty steady. This past month, April appears to be a record. So let me go back to 2020 just to kind of start. Go back a little farther in time.
Okay.
And per square foot, look at this. I mean, it's a nice trend upward.
Hey, look at that.
Yeah, they didn't really peak as much in May 2022 like the rest of the area did. It's kind of gone up. So we had a little peak there, about 152 a square foot. There in September 23,
Okay.
and then we had a little dip the last beginning of this year, but boom.
Going back up.
Yeah, no, it's 159.44 was the average or median per square foot, which is a record for Copperfield. So hot off the presses, Copperfield, you just made a record for highest price per square foot. The overall price actually is not, so that means some smaller homes sold. So, but average price is $310,000 for April, compared to a peak in February of 343. But we sold in April 21 houses versus February you're talking about 13.
Yeah.
So, but there's going to be about 15 to 30 houses sold in a month in Copperfield, depending on the month and the time of year and that kind of stuff. So,
Yeah, people
no.
that get in, they stay put in there in Copperfield. Yeah.
they do. And look at this days on market. I mean, especially during COVID. I mean, homes weren't there more than a week, like for years.
Wow.
So it's peaked up recently. Again, March, 49 days on the market. In February, 41. But then,
Look at
just
that.
plummeted down to 15 in April. So,
Wow.
but yeah, so homes usually sell them pretty quick. But no, again, lower taxes, lower prices, more affordability. So those would be my pros. You want to discuss pros and cons of Copperfield?
Yeah, we can do some pros and cons. I was again getting some scoop from some of the villagers, which is a term they use over there.
Oh, villagers.
In
There you go.
Copperfield. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, some of the villagers.
Nice.
So in looking at that, I was looking at some of the pros. Love that Langham Creek YMCA.
Okay.
Jim,
There you
you
go.
were talking about pickleball. I gotta have you say that again. You said pickleball is for people who are. How did you
Not
say?
athletic enough to play tennis
Yes.
and too poor to play golf.
There you go.
It's the only sport they got.
So this weekend, dried out a little bit, and I went through that to the Langham Creek Family YMCA, and they had a pickleball tournament going on. So it's very,
Nice.
very popular in
Awesome,
there,
yeah.
and it's super cool.
That's good.
So
I've not been in that YMCA. How was
yeah,
it?
oh,
Yeah,
it's nice.
Yeah, is it
It's
nice? Okay,
nice.
that's good.
And
Yeah.
a lot of the kids go in there. I was
Yeah?
just like,
Okay.
yeah, it's kind of like a hangout spot
Yeah?
for a lot
Nice.
of the kids in the
Well,
area.
that's good.
So, yeah, that was fun. Kind of seeing that. So I got to put that as definitely one of my pros. I do like the tree canopy there. You drive through. I was driving through. I went through. Let me make sure I got my notes here. South Creek Village. When I was going through there and just looking at some of the tree canopy, with it being established and everything, it's really, really nice. It's a lot of
It's
pine
nice.
trees, straight pine. You see the nice
Right.
tall, pine trees, things like that. So very, very fun area. So those are my pros.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, those would all be good pros. And like I said, the pricing, the taxes, those are all good pros also. So cons.
Okay. Well, again, some inside information from the villagers, and according to their local community newspaper, they got some migratory birds that come through Copperfield, the egrets and the night
Don't
herons.
we all?
I know. It's really a
Yes.
big deal in the Copperfield for the month of February. I was reading, here's a quote from it. They said, for the last 5 years, those things have managed to shut down the pools, the mailboxes, and have creating a havoc on neighbors and on the neighborhood. So you do have to do that, and it's been going. Yeah.
But it's kind of cool that birds use Houston to migrate to, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
you see a lot of
Come hang
diversity.
out.
You see a lot of diverse wildlife when you're up here in Cypress, Texas, which is one of the reasons I like it. Bridgeland has all kinds of wildlife. We have herons, but we also have the pelicans that will migrate through here, huge birds.
Yeah.
And they fly in formation, and there's like literally cast shadows. They're so big. And people complain about that too because they eat all the fish out of our lakes.
That is perfect timing because I got a question. I was speaking to a family that was considering relocating here from upstate New York, and they asked me about the lakes in Bridgeland. Do you guys have alligators out there?
We do. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, we
I
got
said
alligators,
I
yeah.
got. He may be watching because he did subscribe.
Oh, yeah, we
so
got
I
alligators.
asked that question directly for you guys,
Oh,
and
yeah,
I said
so-
when I get with Jim, I'm going to ask him that.
So on the Facebook group you see pictures probably about once every month.
Okay.
Maybe, but people taking pictures of alligators hanging out in the lakes. So
Yeah.
I don't know how many are out there.
Yeah.
I know if they get a certain size, they'll get animal control to come take them away.
Okay.
But if they're smaller, they just let them. That's good for the ecology and everything.
Yeah.
It's they're neat to look at. They usually don't bother you. Just don't walk your small dogs near the lake. I think it'd be pretty safe.
Yeah,
I think
don't
the
do
bigger
that.
issue is like the big birds, like the owls and the hawks. You hear like them coming down and getting
Yes.
cats and that kind of stuff. And the coyotes, right? We got quite a few coyotes and a lot of missing cats. And it's either the birds of prey or coyotes. I think they're probably getting a lot of these cats that are outdoor cats. But
Yeah. So big deal for Copperfield. That's
Yep.
normally in the month of February, and they have a little things, lethal ways of kind of deterring the birds.
Yeah.
So if you're out there and you're considering Copperfield, that's just something to think about. It made Rodney's con list. Also
Yeah.
from the villagers in there, they told me to slow down, watch
Yeah.
your speed in Copperfield. They
Okay.
said it is one of those places where you don't want to go through at a high rate of speed, and of course you don't want to do that anyway. But
Right.
watch your speed. They've been known
Yeah.
to hand out some tickets in
Okay.
Copperfield.
yeah,
Okay.
so that's one of the big cons of me. It's not necessarily the speed, but it's just Highway 6 is such a big road. I mean, I don't know how many lanes wide it is, but there's traffic lights and traffic lights and traffic and traffic. It's just, and it goes right through the middle of Copperfield. So that's probably my biggest con.
Yes.
I don't like going down there too much just because 1960 it's just so huge.
Yeah.
It's just so many cars in that street.
It is. I
Highway
want to say
6.
that's about a minimum of 4 lanes. I mean, it's
each
on
way.
side.
I mean, it's just crazy.
Yeah.
And there's lights, and it's just a lot of traffic. So that's a big con. But no, and the older houses, so you got to pick and choose on the house. Schools aren't going to be rated as high as Fairfield would be kind of a good comparison because similar age. But Fairfield schools rated a little higher than the Copperfield schools. But
Copeland, I checked them. They were rated a B for Copeland.
yeah, I mean,
and-
they're not bad schools.
Yeah.
Langham Creek, and people go again. Our own Kent Ellis went to Langham Creek, loved it, had a great time there. So, but no, I mean, there's not a whole lot to dislike for the price if you're looking for something.
Yeah.
You know, in that price point, a little more house for the money. It's definitely a good place to check out.
And I'm going to piggyback on something you just said. You were talking about the older home, Jim. For people that are looking for a lot of the energy efficiency, a few of the homeowners were telling me in there, back then they weren't building at that energy
Right.
code.
Good
So
point.
you might not get the most energy efficient home in Copperfield just because of codes and things have changed. And
Right.
it's just
Oh, yeah.
a different product.
Oh,
So
yeah.
something to keep
Yeah,
in mind. But that was
absolutely.
from the people, the villagers
Right.
of Copperfield
Yeah.
and some
You're
stuff
not,
on
you're
the
not going to
ground.
get the double pane windows. You're not going to get the roof. My mind's went blank. What's the roof called?
The solar panels
Not
and
the
the
solar panel. Well, you can't add them. The tech shield or whatever. You know, the silver lining in this.
Gotcha.
My mind is it tech shield? Anyway, you're not going to get that.
Yeah, the radiant barrier.
The
and all
radiant
those things.
barrier. That's
I
what I was
gotcha.
looking for. Yeah.
I gotcha.
Not going to get that, and most of them unless someone's installed a new roof and added that. But yeah, so that's a good point.
Yeah.
So energy efficiency.
So that was brought up, and that's a big deal here in Texas.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, it gets hot, right? And I mean, you guys have been. How long have you guys been solar at your home?
Oh, we got solar 3 years ago, I guess.
Okay.
Maybe 3 or 4 years ago.
So that might be something someone thinking about moving there maybe need to, you're going to have to do a little upgrades and
Yeah.
things like that, maybe to get your home's energy efficiency.
Yeah, I've been
up
happy
a
with
little
it.
bit.
And the
Yeah.
solar and the batteries, it's been a good solution for us.
Well, that's good.
So,
All right.
okay.
Well, those are the pros and cons of Copperfield for
Copperfield.
us. Yeah. Great community. Definitely go to our website. If you go to that page, you can find all the homes for sale in there. You can schedule an appointment. You can do all those things and get more information.
Yeah, absolutely. No, definitely check out Cy-Fairrealestate.com for all the information we talked
Yes.
about today, right? Home prices, Copperfield home prices, interest rates, all that good stuff. So, awesome.
Yeah, and it has some size on it. I'll give one last note. Over 2,000 acres, Copperfield is.
2,000 acres. Okay, nice. That's
a nice
good
size.
size neighborhood.
Yeah, Friendswood
absolutely. Yeah,
development.
that's
Nice.
great. Friendswood was also Fairfield, who we highlighted
they
last
were.
week. So there
Yes,
you go.
they were.
Good developer.
Yeah.
All right, Rodney. Well, I think that's it for the show, right?
Man, did that go
Yeah,
fast
man,
for
by
you
quick,
or what?
man. Yeah, I know.
Are we getting better?
Maybe. I don't know. If we get the setup a little quicker, more efficient, we'd be onto something. But yeah, still moving on strong. Hopefully, we'll start getting to some interviews. I wanted to really get in
Yes.
another person, start meeting some people from the community. So that's coming. So stay tuned for that. And then since we missed last week, I'm hoping to do episode 7 later this week. If you're up for that,
I'm up
Rodney.
for it.
All
I'm
right,
up
let's try to
for
do
it.
two.
I'm
Let's do
up
2
for
for
it.
this week. Two Cy-Fair Real Talks.
Yes.
Give the folks what they want, right?
Give it to them. Give it to them.
So that'll be good. So awesome. All right, guys. Well, hey,
Yeah.
good job, Rodney.
Damn.
Appreciate it.
Hey, welcome back. Welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes. But yeah, my name again is Jim Mulholland.
And I'm Rodney Jordan.
And this has been Cy-Fair Real Talk. Appreciate you guys for listening. We'll see you next time. Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.
Real talk with Jim and